Oh, light change. What do you think? Nice colours, right? Welcome to the era of mobile phone filmmaking. Smartphones are really catching up on professional cinema-grade cameras. Now, don't get me wrong, don't jump off a roof just yet if you've just spent 10 grand on a brand new Blackmagic 12K.
Goodbye, cruel world!
They're not quite there yet. However, I do believe we are entering an era where there is now going to be 3 sets of filmmakers. There's going to be your big Hollywood studio filmmakers who are using the Arri 65 in a 3D dual rig on car stabilized gimbals because they can afford it.
I'm gonna make it rain.
There's going to be your indie filmmakers who are going to be shooting with the red Komodos. They're going to be shooting with the Blackmagic Pockets.
Scooter, how much money do we have left?
And then there's going to be the mobile phone filmmakers. Most of the big manufacturers like Canon, Sony, and Red are now looking at the indie filmmakers as their core markets. No longer are these manufacturers focusing on the big studios where they can sell a handful of very high-priced cameras. Instead, they're focusing on bringing those incredible features down into cameras and systems that are a fraction of the cost, but can sell thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of units instead. Features, effects, and tools are being taken from these incredibly expensive camera systems and being ported into mobile phones.
No. I really want you to have it.
And with a single touch, a single swipe, we're able to get colors, effects, slow motion, hyperlapse, time-lapse in ways that are so easy, so intuitive, that used to take years to master, whereas now mobile phones are doing them automatically.
Anything you want it, you got it.
Now, some people are going to argue that this gets rid of the art of filmmaking, and I do think there is a very valid argument there. The way in which you create a time-lapse, the way in which you use color has to be understood and mastered to truly utilize it perfectly. But until people actually have those tools in their hands, how are they possibly ever going to understand how to use these tools? In the last year alone, we have seen every single major mobile phone manufacturer release a mobile phone capable of recording 4K resolution footage. And some of them are releasing 8K resolution footage. To put that into perspective, I remember waiting about 7 years to get a camera that could shoot 4K from my initial HD cameras. And this is going back to when cameras were £6,000, £7,000, £8,000. When I bought the Sony FS700, it's huge. It's a big beast of a camera and it's got a lot of great features to it, but it could only film 1920 by 1080 internally, and it could do it in a very, very low bitrate. And what that means is the videos would be very, very compressed.
Oh, now really, Mother, it doesn't look so bad.
It took another 2 or 3 years after that for recorders to come out to enable the Sony FS700 to be able to record full 4K resolution from the camera, and that really was some beautiful, beautiful footage coming from that camera. But mobile phones are able to already do much higher resolution and at far higher bit rates than even the Sony FS700.
There aren't enough pixels in the world!
And even then, it's only in 2020 that we finally got 8K cameras in the indie film industry. Previously to that, Red were the only real camera systems that were pushing for higher resolution in the higher end of the cinema market, with the Red Helium and Monstro cameras, both retailing for roughly £30,000 to £40,000 just for the body. No lenses, batteries, monitors, or anything. Basically just a box with a CPU and a sensor.
Is that it?
And you were dropping the deposit on a house, a nice house, and you were getting a camera. Whereas now you're getting 8K resolution in a mobile phone.
My whole world is turned upside down!
It's crazy. It's amazing. But we all know the resolution is not the be-all and end-all. This does not make a great image. Just because I have 8,000 pixels to play with doesn't mean that my image suddenly is cinematic.
Let's make a movie.
There is a lot more that goes on behind the scenes than that in the way in which the image is processed by the device that you're using, the colors, the skin tones, also the control of that camera. Do you have complete control over every aspect of the filmmaking process?
Now I am the master.
Now, what might surprise you is there actually have been a cadre of filmmakers, really prevalent filmmakers in the industry who have already been pioneering into mobile phone filmmaking. From Steven Soderbergh, who's created multiple feature films on mobile phone.
And as your agent, I want to get you there.
And even Zack Snyder with his short film Snow, Steam and Iron. Even the commercial for the iPhone 11 directed by Sam Hargrave. Which was a fantastic romp of a snowball fight shot so cinematically, proves to us that you can get great images out of these cameras. But what it also proves to us is that you still need to know what you're doing to what is in front of the camera. How are you lighting? How are you blocking? And how are you treating with all of these creative tools that are in these incredible devices that are in our pockets?
I must master it as I must master my life.
You basically have a camera with a touchscreen monitor in the back that is better than most touchscreen monitors that you can buy for $1,000. Because of just how many people have mobile phones, there is a slew of incredible apps and software that you can download for next to no money compared to the cinema-based equivalents. And these open up the capabilities of the phone, give you the control that you need to get the best quality of image out of the phone itself.
It's time for action, gentlemen.
Other fantastic tools that are just so accessible, such as the DJI Osmo 4 gimbal for mobile phones, is just £100. This is so much cheaper than their cinema equivalent because, well, it's only really having to stabilize a very light device. But it gives you fantastic creative control and is so worth investing in. You can get cinema cages which enable you to get a wider, more stable grip on your phone because, I mean, when you're holding your phone like this, there's a whole lot of wobble to it. But imagine you've got a handle out here. You can have cages which give you the ability to get much stabler shots. You can also get pretty good sound from plug-in shotgun mics, but I would thoroughly recommend the Rode Wireless Go lavalier system because as soon as you get a little distance from your subject, you're going for a wide shot, if you still need to hear what they're saying or doing, having a wireless signal being sent to your phone from a lavalier mic, it really just cuts down on a lot of the extra stress and strain of trying to get clean audio with a microphone that's just too far away from the subject. There is no more barrier to access with filmmaking. You can go out there, you can create, you can iterate, hone, and perfect your skills as a filmmaker with your mobile phone. I release 3 episodes a week, so don't forget to check back next week for more film tips, reviews, and tidbits on your favorite shows.